Now we're live. Right. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ultra Mega Semi-Fascist podcast. Let's do this. Okay, I've already got some comments going on in the chat thread there. I see Crackshot says Adolf dreamed of a socialist utopia, and I just want to nip that line of thinking in the bud right there. Joe Biden is in no way similar to Adolf Hitler. Remember, Adolf managed to achieve something before he was 50. Adolf lived for about 56 years total. Biden has been in government for longer than that now.
No. He's been in government like 52 or 53 years. Hadn't quite hit 56 years.
Something like that. He's been in there a hot damn minute. He's been in there more than half a century.
Yeah. Now that, yeah. Well, no, he's accomplished lots. He and Hillary Clinton worked together to get all those super predators off the streets in the 90s, remember?
Oh, yeah. Totally solved the drug problems, too. And the violence. No more gang violence. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah. Yeah, he was never, he never signed on to racist legislation that seems to somehow always target black folks. Isn't it weird?
Wow, Danny says Adolf didn't have as much help. Damn, son.
Man, isn't that weird how, like, Democrats create a problem and then they get to solve it?
I can't think of any examples of that.
Oh.
You mean like slavery? You mean like the KKK? You mean like segregation? You mean like Amtrak? You mean like Obamacare? Like student loan like student debt. Yep.
Man, and that is still a thing that is just... No, I saw a fantastic meme that was everybody arguing over student debt. And me still wanting to see Ghislaine Maxwell's client list.
Yeah,
it's
no
like,
doubt.
You know, that's true. That's true. And I think the thing about the student debt, it keeps punching us all in the face, is because we haven't eliminated the what you could refer to as predatory lending problem. We have not dealt with the fact that colleges have grown in expense well outside the pace of inflation problem. No, all we did was one time give a small section of the population money, which is actually going to only exacerbate the problem. It's like the subsidies for electric vehicles. Car dealerships realized, hey, you mean you get $8,000 no matter what just for putting your name on this piece of paper? Well, gosh, I guess we're gonna raise the price of this car.
On this piece of paper as we can.
Well, no, I guess we're gonna raise the price of this car by about what do you think, $8,000? Yeah.
Sounds about right. All right, for our first story this morning.
God, your mom's bringing the fire. Adolfo was legally elected. Woo! Shit. And so has every other president of the 21st century, Ma.
Yes, every single one. Even the most president ever president.
Oh.
Former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden.
Anyhow, but we're
with
the
his
fascists.
hairy cockroach legs.
But we're the fascists.
He likes it when kids sit on his lap.
Well, they're hairy. They push the hair down.
Speaking of pedophiles, Joe Biden was having a fundraiser the other day in Maryland where he said Biden says extreme MAGA philosophy is like semi-fascism. It's not just Trump. Oh.
It's the come on, man. It's
this should
the
be
thing.
this should be his deplorables moment.
Come on, man.
His
It's the thing.
Deplorables.
The thing. You know the thing.
So as near as I can tell from my research this morning, this is something that he said at the fundraiser and people have reported on him saying. I can't find a clip of him actually saying it anywhere. Now, in fairness...
Watch, somebody's going to drop one in the chat in like 38 seconds.
Yeah, if you guys happen to have a clip of it, that's great. But in fairness, this being just something a remark that he made somewhere and we get it, secondhand or third hand, I might not even talk about it, but there's another development that we're going to get into in just a second here. So first, let's talk about what it is reported that he has said. President Biden said during a fundraiser on Thursday that the extreme MAGA philosophy is like semi-fascism. Biden made the remarks during a fundraiser in Maryland before heading off to a rally near Washington, D.C. What we're seeing now is either the beginning of the death or... it's hard to read a Biden quote.
Look, man, come on, man. It's look, pal.
Excuse me.
Look, pal. We'll do some push-ups.
Listen, fat.
And I'll whoop your ass. I'll take him out behind the woodshed.
What we're seeing now is either the beginning of the death knell of an extreme MAGA philosophy, Biden said. It's not just Trump. It's the entire philosophy that underpins I'm going to say something. It's like semi-fascism.
The thing
is either the beginning or the death knell of an extreme... Oh, jeez. It's hard to even talk about what Biden said because he meanders so much. Call the law, it's a camera. I wrote a note down here yesterday that I need to make a new badge to go with our top comment badge for today's best new character name in the chat. Like that time we got a free picture of beer at Hooters because we showed up to play trivia as the jaw-splitting girth. It was a great night. We were 19, so we couldn't buy the beer. They gave us the pitcher of beer. Once the pitcher was on the table, nobody asked any more questions. Good night. So, the event comes amid a period where Biden is expected to be touting his policy victories, campaigning for his party's candidates ahead of the midterm elections. White House aides told the Associated Press. Said the fundraiser hosted in the backyard of a Bethesda home with about 100 donors that if Democrats lose the upcoming midterm elections, Republicans would begin wiping out choice across the board.
Are they going to put y'all back in chains?
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to throw grandma off the cliff? This is one of those, oh, dude, we got to keep going. This is fantastic. I was just being sarcastic, but it gets even better as you get to...
Oh, yeah, he apparently kept on going. I think the American people are waking up to the reality that things have changed so drastically, Biden said. Well,
he's right there.
Yeah. Yeah, Libs of TikTok is doing yeoman's work in that space. Let me tell you what. Biden's comments come one day after he announced a massive student loan handout, which wipes away $10,000 of federal student loan debt for some borrowers who make less than $125,000 per year, and handouts of up to $20,000 for borrowers who are Pell Grant recipients. Let me talk about that for just a second. So the handout gets bumped up to $20,000 for borrowers who were Pell Grant recipients, which means that the people who are eligible for the $10,000 of federal student loan debt, if they're currently making under $125,000 a year, went to college, accumulated that debt, and have not begun earning enough money to pay it. But interestingly, the difference between the Pell Grant recipients and the $10,000 a year recipients is that the $10,000 a year recipients, when they went to college, were part of a household that made too much money to receive the Pell Grant, which means that they went from this income bracket, no, their parents, but it means that they went from living it at this level, basically, or above, as far as being, upper middle class, etc., and fell down to where they can't pay off $10,000 of federal student loan debt. The fact is, they probably are paying it off. This isn't helping them to survive. This is a straight up purchase of their individual vote. That's all that 100%.
Well, I mean, look, I've thought about the thing that you could actually compare this to. We talked about earlier in the week where you can't compare this to like PPP loans because PPP loans were designed to be forgiven.
Right.
You can compare this to the time Ronald Reagan tried to compromise with the Democrats in the 80s and actually offered limited amnesty because, okay, fine, we'll give the illegal aliens a pass and then we'll lock the damn border down. And the illegal aliens got a pass, but that border never got locked down, did it? So
because, I mean, they're Democrats. It's the same reason they can't meme, and it's the same reason their films fail on so many levels. They can't say true things. The truth is beyond them. The treachery, dishonesty is just built into the sons of bitch.
Well, so, but coming back to the semi-fascist thing, just to really pop it on the head, somebody said in the comments, like, that's projection. And yes, that is exactly what it is. It is projection. The only thing that you could even come close to making an argument for that Republicans or rather conservatives, libertarians, whatever, are pro-control over is the abortion argument. And that is because we believe that you kill a person when you have an abortion. So anytime you're going to gear the law toward making it more difficult to kill a person, yeah, okay, fine. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. If you can't have life, you can't have liberty or pursue happiness. It's just that simple.
Right. They're ordered a priori based on what you cannot pursue happiness if you are not free. You cannot be free if you're not alive.
But it is not our side that wants to censor certain conversations off YouTube, for example. And there's a thing that Chris and I...
it's the FBI side.
And look, and there's more to the YouTube discussion. Chris and I, we're going to do a show on it, but we'll come back to that. But it's not them.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. We've talked about this.
Yes,
don't embarrass me, asshole. Yes, I'm glad I could be the butt of your joke. But it's not our side that wants to lock down the economy. It's not our side that wants to insist you follow a specific education path. It's not our side that wants to insist that healthcare companies have to operate. Well, I say healthcare companies, insurance companies have to operate a certain way, whether or not it makes sense or not. Typically speaking, it's our side that says, you know what? No, I tell you what, I'll take the good with the bad. You leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. Just don't stick your gay pride in my children's face, and we're probably cool. It's actually the other side. It's them, the side that would never be fascist. No.
Well, and
they're the ones that insist that you will be made to care.
And like I was saying, this...
Oh, here we go. Mean Jean Pierre. I know that's not her name, but that's what they all get a nickname today on our show.
Here's Mean
so
Jean.
Cringe.
Here's Mean Jean being asked the question.
Folks, this is why you don't diversity hire.
Correct.
God.
Here you go.
Wanting to take away our rights, our voting rights. I mean, that is what that is. It is very away our right, taking away about what I've done and.
I've tried to speak to embrace.
Yeah.
Is this something we're going to hear more of? That phrase, is it something the president's going to kind of embrace, or is there any sense that it was a little impromptu, and it's going to turn into a kind of basket of deplorables thing that he regrets and tries to be quiet about.
Look, I was very clear when laying out and defining what MAGA Republicans have done, and you look at the definition of fascism, and you think about what they're doing in attacking our democracy, what they're doing in taking away our freedoms, wanting to take away our rights, our voting rights. I mean, that is what that is. It is very clear.
So clearly, she doesn't actually know what the word fascism means. Nor does she understand what any of these individual things that she's referencing are.
Well, this is the same people that are like, oh, speech is violence and you're racist if you disagree with me, and you're misogynistic if you want a traditional household where the man goes to work and the woman stays home and takes care of the babies.
If you didn't like the movie about the He-Man woman haters, you're just a male chauvinist. You're a misogynist.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're bad people because we didn't go see Charlie's Angels, even though the director of the movie said, if you're a straight white man, this movie's not for you. And I said, okay, then I won't go.
Yeah.
Hot women kicking ass? Oh, but it's not for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a product and your ad campaign is, dear target audience, dear target market, this product is not for you. We're selling steaks to vegetarians. Oh, you've got alternative meat products where they're like soy steaks? No, they're steaks, but they're only for vegetarians.
Yeah, but hey, JDF joined us this morning.
Good morning, JDF.
Good to see you live
hero.
For a change. Yes, the fan that inspired us to up our production value.
Really did.
Yeah, literally.
And
well. Okay, but it's the projection and it's the attacking democracy. And that's one of those phrases that's like, it means just enough emotionally on like the Bertrand Russell scale to scare the shit out of people.
Right.
But it means so little logically you can assign any value to it that you want. Like for example, the whole thing with Roe v. Wade in the Supreme Court. Oh, that's attacking our democracy. I mean, how? Like, really, how? All it did was take power that the federal government never had away and send it back to the states. But sure, that's attacking democracy, in which most states are going to decide that issue by direct democratic action. But sure thing, whatever you say. But you can assign it to that, because it makes you feel a certain way. And then you can just, fill in the blank with like, that time Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton worried about the super predators. Hey, do you think the super predators were white? Just say it. Just ask it.
That's a good question. I wonder.
But anyhow, Mean Jean and her diversity
Crackshot says, this sums up the MCU, a product aimed at men, made for a woman.
MCU's not made for anybody. God, it's awful.
The Lady Bick. Men buy more razors than women because men that shave every day. But women still need razors. So that's a different creature. Now, you'll hear about the pink tax, right? Oh, well, it's about misogyny and my patriarchy.
Just don't buy the pink one.
Yeah. Yes, the pink razor costs more because you'll buy it.
You could just buy the blue razor.
You know why the blue helmet is cheaper? Because the little girl will demand, I want the pink bicycle helmet, Daddy, and you'll get it for her. If the pink bicycle helmet were cheaper and the little boy wanted the blue one, you'd say, to hell with you, you're getting the pink one because it's cheaper. That is how that works. A man will not spend the extra money on the cosmetic appearance of basic commodities. He might go a little further on something like his house or his car, something people are going to see, something that is a status symbol.
Status symbol, yeah.
But he's not gonna go the extra mile and spend his extra money to decorate his private bathroom, right? That's what he has a wife for. He's not gonna spend his money on stupid shit. That's why he's got a wife. She can spend his money on stupid shit.
Oh man, Pit Danny says I can hear Jesse Ventura saying, "Well, Mean Gene, I'm just asking questions." And yeah, that's
Well, you know, Mean Gene.
you know that's actually part of what I was thinking is a Mean Gene Oakland. That's an '80s kid reference if there ever was
shit.
one right there. You notice
We need to clip some of that to splice with her commentary.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. So anyhow, did you know?
Right, Steve says that's a wild assumption, dude. I know a lot of dudes buying kitschy shit for the house. Yeah, dudes, Steve, not men.
Right. And are they? Which side of 35 are they on? That's the other thing. So
my mother still setting it on fire, and Amazon will deliver the stupid stuff.
So anyhow, you notice something about Mean Jean Perrier there, where she's all well, and oh, now I get to talk about the part where I hate Republicans. Suddenly, no longer I'm stumbling, and I can tell you how evil and terrible the Republicans are.
Yeah, she's all set to hate on some white boys.
Well, some cis Republican white boys, no less. Like she's got a worldview, okay? And if you can let her just talk about that partisan worldview, then she's fine. She doesn't sound like a bumbling idiot when she can talk about that kind of.
Right.
She sounds like a hateful idiot when she can talk about that stuff, but she doesn't sound like a bumbling idiot.
Right. And
so that's I found that very interesting because I've actually heard that exchange passed around a couple of times before, and I found out you wanted to talk about it. It was like, oh yay, dude, we could just talk about how she is the example of diversity hires. Just like, okay, all right. Since Biden became the nominee, he's appointed a vice president who sucks at talking.
Yep.
But doesn't suck at sucking. He's appointed a Supreme...
But she doesn't talk at sucking either. You got to keep that shit on the down low if you want to climb the corporate cock ladder.
Right. Okay.
And I need to correct Pit Danny real quick. He says they have a man bun. Danny, I believe you mean bitch biscuit.
Okay, but she's not white. But Kamala's not white. Apparently, she's not terribly black either.
No, she's the
she
first
got demoted. she's the first vice president, whatever.
First person.
Yeah. And then he appointed a Supreme Court justice who also was not white, was blacker than Kamala, and did better at answering questions, but only technically so. And then he again appointed a not white person, a black female lesbian.
Right? Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And she's awful. What is it? It's weird. It's almost like when you hire somebody based on, you know, them having a vagina and not being white and not on other characteristics, you might hire a fucking idiot.
Okay, so remember there was a primary, Herman Cain in it, and he lost the primary because he got plowed by these obviously fabricated sexual allegations, which has become just a go-to in the Democrat playbook, has been for, well, basically Joe Biden's entire career.
I mean, only if you want Robert Byrd to endorse you.
I talked to Herman after he was out of the primary when he was doing the radio show. I got on the phone with him and I told him, you know, I like the 999 plan, Herman. I don't think it goes far enough, but it's a step in the right direction, and I could work with that. And I told him a couple things. One, I told him, among the reasons that I voted for you in the primary, Herman, is I wanted to see you come across the stage with Barack Obama and say, Barack, there ain't no cream in my coffee. I will be America's first black president. Because that would have been just priceless. But I also told Herman at the time that I was concerned about his prospects for being the next president, because what we would see is we would see an election where there were two black candidates, one from the Democrat, one from the Republican Party. And the result, no matter which one of them won, would be the establishment of the precedent going forward that the way to win an election is not by running on policy that people want to vote for, but rather by running the more extreme minority disintegrate candidate.
The virtue signal race.
And
Like,
that's where
eventually
we've got, and that's where we are now, is we are seeing the virtue signal race run to a lesser extent on the Republican side, but it is there some. But we're definitely seeing it on the Democrat side.
Oh, with Vice Admiral Trans
Oh
Fat?
God, yeah, it's
Come on, that was good. Vice Admiral Trans Fat?
yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yes. Thank you. You know, Willow Bar says if you hire people based on what they look like, you hire the wrong people. Unless you're a manager at Hooters. Then you're hiring the correct people. If you
Oh shit, Hooters got sued for not hiring a dude that one time.
Yeah, but they won. They won.
Indeed, they did.
Would they
I
win the
wonder if they could
lawsuit?
win that lawsuit today.
I'm glad the lawsuit happened when we were kids. I really am, because I'll put up with a lot from a Hooters waitress. As long as she's a waitress. Anyhow.
So, you know what? I had another story for this morning, but we've only got 4 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and we
Can
might
we just make fun of Mean Gene some more?
we could.
That
Well,
would be
you know
too
what?
easy.
No, you know what? Let's tag this for a minute. We'll try to keep this short, and
No,
we can cut it out as a 5-minute segment later.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. So basically, this morning,
CNN. Oh, yes.
CNN is hashtag boycott CNN is trending on Twitter. Okay, let me back that up. This is for you, Cameron, for the edit. Okay, so our next story is this morning on Twitter. I saw that hashtag boycott CNN is trending, but it's not the way you would think it is. Of course, I don't know how you would think it is, because guys like Cameron and I, and I'm assuming the majority of you that watch this show, you're not going to boycott CNN. Because you've been boycotting CNN. You've been not watching CNN for at least the last 6 to 8 years. I mean, CNN has been a dumpster fire of obvious dishonesty, election tampering, and just straight state propagandism for nigh over a decade. But as we've reported on this show and has been covered on everything else that you probably are exposed to generally, including left-wing media, CNN's been getting rid of their left-wing hosts.
Well,
and
on paper.
Well,
the ones that are especially bad. How bad did it hurt Brian Stelter's feelings for him to be one of the first people to get fired from CNN for job performance?
I mean, do you know how bad you have to be to get fired from CNN for job performance?
Brian Stelter levels of bad?
Apparently. I mean, they had to wait for a sex scandal to get rid of Chris Cuomo, and he's the one that said, now, it's illegal for you to read these documents, but we're the press. We're different. First Amendment,
we
Chris,
can look at WikiLeaks.
Every American is the press. Being the press, being a reporter, does not come with special privileges, rights, or liberties.
They would have you think it does.
They would.
Probably part of why Mayonnaise Donut Muncher got himself fired. Talked about it before, too, how if his show had actually been an audit of the rest of the news, it would have been an autopilot success.
Right.
But instead, it was Fox News is bad, and Republicans are bad, and oh my God.
Well, Tim Pool pointed out the other day, there was one of the big floods or hurricanes or something, one of the major national disaster or natural disaster events that happened during the Trump presidency was going on. It wasn't here in the U.S. It was overseas, but it was a major disaster. And he he said he was flipping through the news channels, and literally every news channel was covering this high casualty natural disaster. And then he came to CNN, and in the middle of all this, they had 2 straight hours of Trump bad panel. Didn't even have the hurricane or whatever on the ticker. Just Trump bad, Trump, orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad. But what's happening here is the lefties are saying, yes, boycott CNN because we already have enough right-wing Talibangical, oh my God, fascist lies from Fox and all the other shysters online. Right, and it apparently started with Kristen Bodie. As an original staffer at CNN, I'm asking all of my former colleagues to express their serious concern with the new editorial direction the network is taking. It's horrifying to think. Is this why you're a former staffer, Kristen? The boycott CNN folks have a point. Remember when Ted and Reese said the news is the star? Remember when Mika Brzezinski said, "Hey, look at us. We're up in the trending." I'm gonna like us. I like us.
That's like a fourth wall break inside of a fourth wall.
No shit. So you got John Cooper. I decided to boycott CNN as soon as the network began its shift to the right. Really? It was a tough decision since I've been a devout CNN viewer since I was in my 20s. If I wanted to watch right-wing propaganda, I'd watch Fox. So for now, it's only MSNBC for me. Oh my God.
You know, okay.
You've been a devout CNN viewer since you were in your 20s.
And you think that's a thing to brag about?
That means that you have never had an opinion.
Dude, man, fully erect. My dick is 3 inches. It's huge.
Wow. CNN is aghast that President Biden used the term semi-fascist to describe the fascist faction of the Republican Party. They call it divisive, as if the fascism isn't the problem. It's naming it that's the issue. They did the same with Trump's racist statements. What racist statements, Daniel Prick? See, this is the problem. Okay, so we got a troll here. Rye 87. Yeah, semi-fascists, that's wrong. They're full-on fascists. You're adorable, Sunshine. You don't know what a fascist is. So, I think it's amusing that the lefties are boycotting CNN. This is an eat-your-own type of situation.
Well, this is what happens when you build the woke golem. Like, you know, they're always saying, you know, you Republicans don't like to read books, but I do. I read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and part of the reason why the monster turns on the doctor is because the doctor had the hubris to create the monster in the first place and birth it into this existence. Another thing, man, this is one that just baffles me, and I actually looked up the numbers on this recently. Fox averages, it's average. It's about 1.5 million viewers. And then for shows like Tucker and Hannity, it has occasional spikes of 2 million, 3 million, that kind of thing. So let's just use Fox's biggest number. Let's just say 3 million watch Tucker. So I don't know. And then there's other people that watch over the day and then don't watch. So let's just say 5 million people watch CNN. Okay, cool. Almost 70 million people voted for Donald Trump in the previous election, which means some 60 million people of those Donald Trump voters don't give a flying damn. I keep saying CNN, I mean Fox News. But,
right.
Which means some 60 million voters for Donald Trump don't give a flying damn about Fox News, that hold it in a similar level of contempt even that Chris and I do. Like, we started to figure out a long time ago, Fox is not your friend, okay? Just because they're the counterweight in the news scale doesn't mean that they're your buddy, okay? Controlled opposition is still controlled. So whenever they reference it, oh my God, if I wanted this, I would watch Fox News. It's like, Boy, you guys just don't understand that there's this whole universe of Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, and until a couple of years ago, Rush Limbaugh, and I promise we're not getting the marching orders from Fox, but I'm okay with you guys continuing to think that we are, because you could just waste energy and resources in that direction. And then the thing with CNN is, by every measure, they were failing. Like the CNN Plus app, what a joke. What a terrible, awful joke. Well, we don't.
It was canceled almost immediately.
And I love how they were like, well, we don't know if it was a failure yet. If it didn't even last a month and they took it offline. Oh,
look, we've got another gamer that thinks the semi part of Semi-Fascist was wrong. Wow.
But obviously didn't watch the beginning of the show. Like, who's the party that wants to lock you in your house over a disease with a sub 1% death rate? It's not
remember,
Republicans.
I'm going to say this last thing, and then if you got something else, but let's go ahead and wrap it up. I want you all to think back to the beginning of the pandemic when Donald Trump said, we're going to block travel from China because that's where the problem is. And you had all these Democrats like Pelosi and
you're gonna short out the cognitive dissonance meter.
Anyway, they all started screaming, "Oh, that's racist! That's racist! You need to come out to Chinatown." And then they started demanding lockdowns. And Donald Trump refused to do lockdowns at the national level. He explicitly said that is a state's power. I don't have the authority to do that. They were mad that he wasn't more fascist. They were desperate for him to do the fascist thing and usurp authority which was not his, and he refused to do it. But guess who did do it? Gavin Newsom. What's the
Bond villain?
The kidnapping. Gretchen Whitmer, right? Your Bond villain, sycophant, soy boys, and manager bitches, they shut down. And it wrecked them. They did fascism, and fascism didn't work. Donald Trump said, no, disintegrated authority. This is not a power that belongs to this office. If you think Donald Trump is a fascist, it's because you don't know what words mean. Yeah. So y'all roll with that one, and we're gonna wrap this up. Y'all have a great day. Love you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.